Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Midwife Jamie. On my channel, I talk about life in the UK, midwifery practice in the UK, and I share my experiences as an immigrant living in the UK with you as well. If this is your first time being on the channel, please stay with us. Thank you for passing by. Subscribe, like, and share for more and exciting content. To my returning subscribers, thank you so much for the support. In today's video, we're going to talk about the things that you need to do before you relocate to the UK after your visa has been issued to you. Let's get into the video. You would want to make a better plan for your relocation to ensure that you have a smooth and a stress-free relocation process. The first thing I'm going to talk about is your passport or your visa. It should be very, very close to you as you relocate from your home country. It is the first thing that everybody would want to look at throughout your immigration process. So it can be in your direct backpack, it can be in your jacket, so that anytime that they ask for it at the airport or at the check-in point, is readily available. You just hand it over to them. It contributes to your stress-free relocation process. So make sure that you are keeping it safe and you are keeping it close as well. The next thing I'm talking about is your flight or your ticket. So book your flights ahead of time if you have that flexibility, so that you get it at a cheaper cost and you are able to save some pounds for something different. For most internationally educated nurses and midwives, it is our trust that would usually book the flight for you. If that is your case, you might not have that flexibility. If you are relocating as a dependent, or you are the main applicant and you are the one booking your flight, then you are in control. So you can book your flight ahead of time to make sure that you are saving some small pounds somewhere for something different. If your airline offers you the chance to do online check-in, I think most airlines offers that online check-in option. If you are able to do the online check-in before 24 hours of your flight, you would have an easy and a stress-free check-in at the airport. The next thing we need to consider is transportation. It is really important to consider what type of transportation you want to use from the airport to your residence. You can use taxis. There are some buses that you can get to your residence as well. You can book a train, and you can do all of these ahead of time to save you some pounds as well. If you are booking it there and then at the airport, the cost is higher as compared to pre-booking the taxi or pre-booking the bus ahead of time. So consider the options to make sure that you are not stranded at the airport, now trying to look for what type of accommodation you would have to use from the airport to your residence, and sort that out before your flight. I'm going to encourage you to download Google Map, learn how to navigate through that map, because it's going to help you a lot when it comes to transportation stuff as well. The next important thing we are talking about is your accommodation. So it is very important to find a place to put your head in somebody's land. So you have to make sure that you have considered the options of your accommodation. For us internationally educated nurses and midwives, if you are coming alone without our dependents, the trust most of the times have sorted out accommodation for you for the first few months, that you don't need to stress yourself. But if you are coming with your family like I did with mine, then you need to find an alternative accommodation. So we did Airbnb, and then later on found a permanent accommodation. You can, however, find a permanent accommodation from back home using Zoopla, Open Rent, On the Market, and others. So you can start searching on these apps to find a permanent accommodation before you relocate. If it is not visible with you, you can still come and find a short stay like Airbnb, like Premier Inn, and then later on find a permanent accommodation. You can consider. So think about it, look through the options and ensure which one is best for you. Let's talk about the money matter. So in terms of finances, you need some money on you to make few transactions, buy water, buy a few things that you need to buy. And there are some shops in the UK that would not accept a card payment if you are buying stuff less than £3. Some if you are buying stuff less than £4. So if you've got cash, it makes it easy for you. So make sure that the bank that you have back home, you've got a card like a Visa card or a MasterCard as well, that you can buy stuff before you open an account in the UK to get a UK's bank card. It might come with some charges, but it's still flexible for you before you get your card. And now still with the money, you cannot get more than £10,000 cash with you whilst you relocate to the UK. So it should be less than that. Make sure that you don't get more than £10,000 on you. It's going to raise concerns at the airport. You might get your money seized or other sanctions. So make sure that you have less than that amount of money on you and you've got the rest on your card for payments. Let's talk about health issues now. So make sure that you've got all the immunizations that you need to do. If there are immunizations you need to do to boost your immunity before you relocate to the UK, please do. If there are any regular medications you are taking for any medical history like diabetes, any medical history like hypertension, like asthma, get all those regular medications close to you. Get a supply for like a month or two, because you will now need to move to the UK, find a GP surgery to register with. So make sure that you've got a lot of those regular medications with you and they are in date, they are not expiring soon, so that you keep your conditions under control before you finally get to meet your doctor or you finally get to meet your general practitioner. Now let's talk about some certificates that are worth having with you while you relocate to the UK. So let's talk about the police certificate or the police clearance. You require a police certificate in the UK if you're going to work on people, if you're going to work in a health sector, if you're going to work in a school like a teacher, if you're going to work in a financial institution, and among others, you will need a police certificate. Make sure that your police certificate from your home country is not expiring. Let it not expire before you relocate to the UK. Even if the UK needs you to do a DBS, that the one that they have in the UK, they will still require your home country certificate to do the DBS. So make sure that you've got your police certificate in date. And the next one I'm going to talk about is your school certificate. So if you want to teach, for example, in the UK, you must have a degree. So you can't leave your certificate down and come here and say you want to teach in a school. No, that's the basic qualification. If you want to teach in the UK, whether you are a teacher back home or you are not, you require a degree as a basic certificate to teach in the UK. Other jobs will require you to have your certificate, your SSCE or your WASI certificate. So bring all your school certificates with you. You might not know what job you might find that would require all these certificates. Get all of these things ready. You can pack all of them nicely in a flat file in your backpack. The next document I'm talking about is your offer letter. There is a lot of things going on when it comes to relocation, immigration stuff and all that. So get your offer letter close to you as your passport, so that if they are doubting you or they want to make sure that you really have an offer in the UK to work, you just pull it out and show it to them and you are free to go. You get what I mean? And then get your marriage certificate with you. Let's talk about the immunization records as well. If you're going to work in the UK, especially in the health sector, they are going to need your immunization records. Obviously, they will take your bloods when you get to the UK, but they will still need your immunization records to know which one you don't have, which ones you've got, and then they will give you booster immunizations and all that to make sure that you are not at risk out there in the health sector. If you come in with your kids, please don't forget to come with their immunization records as well. An example is my 2-year-old. She had completed all her immunizations back in Ghana, but they looked at the records and they said in the UK they still offer some, so she had to still get some immunization. Get all their immunization records ready for the GP to review and get extra immunization doses for them if there is a need for them. Another essential thing I'm going to talk about is to get a power bank. If you have issues with your battery, it's a long journey. It's a very long journey. So get a power bank or get extra batteries if your phone allows for that. And then make sure that your phone is on at all times, because when you relocate to the UK, battery is drained, especially because of Google Map. You know, you don't know anywhere, so you want to make sure that wherever you are going is the right place. You don't have to get missing and get stranded. So Google Map can drain your battery so well. So make sure that you've got a power bank before you get to your residence. You don't get stranded on the way. Let's talk about SIM cards. So most TLS centers are offering SIM cards these days. So get a SIM card from the TLS center. It's free of charge, and then when you get to the UK, you slot it into your phone, and then you are able to make phone calls with it. You are able to book taxis with them, because the roaming charges on your home country SIM card is crazy. So make sure that you've got a SIM card, and it makes your life easier as long as you are in the UK. The moment you enter the UK, just slot it in your phone, and that's it for you. The last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is cultural norms and the etiquette in the UK. So make a quick research online, see how people do their greetings in the UK, see how people move around in the UK, how they do their things, and so that you can easily settle in. You can meet somebody and the person is going to ask you, are you okay? In our country, when somebody asks you, are you okay, be like, oh, do I look mad? Do I look crying? Am I crying? Am I not happy? Why are you asking me, are you okay? But it's a normal greeting in the UK. Somebody's going to ask you, are you okay? So if you come in with kids, like I came with kids, somebody will meet you and say, oh, are they twins? They are so cute. Can I give them a hug? And they're talking and playing with your kids. It's not really common back home, but in the UK, it is really common. So make sure that you have familiarized yourself with some of these norms, and then you are not going to struggle. Lest I forget, let me mention about driver's license. So with regards to transportation, if you know how to drive and you plan to drive in the UK, make sure that you've got a driver's license down. You can get the international driver's license, or you can still drive in the UK with your driver's license back home for the first year. So if you want to drive in the UK, make sure that you've got a driver's license and you have familiarized yourself with the traffic rules in the UK as well, to save you some pounds, because you're going to be charged if you make mistakes on the road. I have come to the end of the video. Thank you for staying to this part of the video. I love you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.